So, is there anything anyone was specifically doing during downtime, or do you want to basically pick up at that 2 week mark?
Do a bit of like to use the word, a bit of radicalization. I want to find some Heliod lovers to help me spread the word a bit.
Make a religion check for me.
So hot.
You try and get some information out of these people, but you can see that as soon as you start mentioning Heliod, they just tune out, or at the nicest and at the worst, just turn face and walk away.
Okay, I've got a better idea then. Um, who's the chief? Who's the high priest around here? I'd like to go see them.
Uh, so you'd be able to head to the main temple, as there is a temple dedicated to just worship of the entire pantheon, and probably speak to somebody there.
Okay. Fact. No, I'm not going to go find the high priest. I've changed my mind. I've got a
Okay,
better idea. Where are the poor people?
in the slums.
I'm going to go to the slums. I'm going to assume that there are roving preachers.
Uh, Not so much. Definitely not like religious preachers. They're mostly, for want of a better term, are talent scouts.
Okay, what are they scouting for?
People that can do jobs that other people probably would, more reputable people probably wouldn't.
Okay, not what I'm looking for. I need. Is there like a town crier, someone who delivers proclamations and things like that, or tries, or a soothsayer who tries to read the future for Koi and that sort of thing?
The closest would be the Oracle at the Palace, but that not quite what you're looking
No.
for, as far as I can think of.
I
Uh,
need someone who is amongst the people. Doesn't really bother me which people, but the poor tend to be easier to subvert.
the closest I can think that there would be heading to any of the busier districts, so any of the markets, and just standing on a box and screaming.
Is there anyone actually doing that?
Uh, Only those that are trying to sell their wares.
Damn it. Okay, I'm gonna have to have another think. Bear with me.
Yeah, while Dios is thinking, does anybody else would like to do anything?
Is there any um Tritons or shit, what were they called? The Naiads? Is that what they are?
The Nares, the water nymphs.
Yeah. Is there any of them around at all?
Uh, Make a perception check.
I know we're not very well liked, but there might be a couple. I don't know. Perception. Oh god.
You can't spot any, but you definitely you get a very cold, if not harsh, welcome in the upper and middle districts. But people don't seem to mind you all that much in the slums. So you get the feeling that if Tritons are around, they'll probably be there.
Okay. Um. I'm gonna be spending some of my time looking for other Tritons in the slums and naiads. Um. Where are they on this map?
So these districts would be the slums, the sort of haphazard houses strewn together, and that's where the majority of the demi-humans live. Any of the non-obviously humanoid races.
Okay. Yeah, me and Neil would be wandering around there, seeing if there is anyone that would even be willing to talk to us, preferably some Tritons or some Naiads.
As you wander around, a hooded figure does sort of gesture out towards you. And it's like, you're not quite the type to be around here. You're definitely not from Neo Lantern, are you?
No, I'm not.
From the other half?
Yeah, I am from that way, and I'll just point towards the sea.
And what's brought you here?
I'm hoping to try and us more accepted. Just looking around, just wandering the city a lot as well, you know. Just never been here before. It's a bit weird being on land.
You get used to it, but it takes a mighty set of pearls to walk around Neo Lantern blatant like that, especially as a
Oh, I've got
Triton.
this guy with me. It's fine. I've got my eel hound here. He's good. He's protective.
Well, I hope we can defend you, but Tritons don't live long here if they're in everyone's faces.
Well, I guess they're gonna have to learn some way of dealing with me being around.
And how would you attempt that? That not one of the many other Tritons that have lived and suffered here haven't. Most just go home under the water.
I am not particularly surprised about that. It's much nicer back there. Not entirely sure. I'm just hoping that somehow I can figure it out.
Can't say I'm holding much hope for you, sweet, but here's here's to optimism at least. As they turn around and walk down some shaded alleyway.
Okay. Could I tell what they were?
Make an insight check.
Insight. Hey.
Your best guess is that they were to a Triton, but they definitely didn't act or sound how you would expect or like the Tritons you've met before. Almost like this one's never really touched water all that much.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to
Yeah,
do.
I'll let you stew on that because I think Dios has
I'll pass back
finished
to
thinking.
Dios for a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned some unsavory types in the slums that were talent scouts.
Yes.
Okay, can I slip them a few coins to find me some rather good charlatans, people who can act a little?
And how many coins are we slipping?
I'll give them a finder's fee of 10 gold pieces per one they find. I need a maximum of 5.
They point towards the western side of the city and suggest you take things up at the amphitheatre
Sounds good to me.
if you're looking for actors.
I need actors. Paid actors. Yeah, I'll head over to the amphitheatre.
We head over where there is a play being performed. This one sort of androgynous individual in the center of the stage, capturing everybody's attention as they sort of perform this soliloquy, this sort of tragic final words, much to the emotional resonance of the crowd.
Okay. So I will just stand and watch, and what I'm looking for is I want the most hammy actors there. I want them to really phone it in. So I'll just keep an eye out for those.
So you watch through the rest of the performance. You can very much tell there is a huge skill difference between who you can only assume is the lead bard and the rest of the troupe here. There's probably about 10 or so actors.
Okay. I will pick. Is there any one of them that comes off as like the worst actor out of the lot?
There is
Or
make
the
an
most
insight check.
experienced?
Make an insight check.
Okay, 1 sec. I think I get advantage on that. Yes, I have the all-seeing eye tattoo, so I have advantage on it.
Okay.
Double check. Insight. Yeah, needed it. 17.
So you can definitely see that one of the troop is more out of place than the others. Definitely gets no reactions whatsoever from the crowd. Though it's hard to fully make out the appearance or whether gender or even species of any of the actors because they're all seeming to wear these golden masks that sort of you can assume is an illusion spell of some kind. But there is one
Well,
that no matter what, okay,
I can see through illusions.
fair. At the very least, you can tell that they're supposed to be obscured. As you see a little rat folk trying his best to entertain the crowd to nothing but crickets.
Okay. I will call the little rat folk over.
You wait till the end of the performance,
Yes.
find him, and how are you calling him over?
I'll just walk up to him.
Yeah,
Dios is Dios.
there's no one particularly around him. You can see that the other bards are signing autographs and talking to fans, and he's just sort of sat there expectantly, hoping for the best.
Hello, small one.
But you you a fan? I can sign tablet. Yes.
A fan? No. But I come
Oh,
with work, and I will pay coin for this work.
uh,
I reach into my pocket and I show him my coin pouch. It has about 50 gold coins in it.
I have never done a private work before.
Do not worry, or not my bent. This will be very public work.
I've never done private public work before, but I can do what needed, I guess.
Okay. Do you have any other friends that would be useful or wish to join in this work? I need a few people to do this job.
I have friends, yes. Yes, definitely have friends, yes.
Wonderful.
You don't believe a word he's saying.
Okay. Wait here. I'm going to move through some of the other actors and I will pick the most unsavory ones that I think are the most unsavory that are willing to do pretty much anything for a bit more coin. I'm going to assume anyone that has a gambling problem, any sort of drinking problem, just to maintain their lifestyle, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, you can definitely find at least two or three that are a bit too enamored with the cult of Xenagos.
Yes, that's exactly what I want. That's what I am looking for. I will gather them all up if they are willing to come with the promise of paid work.
That, as always, depends on the pay.
I show them my coin pouch. I have surreptitiously taken 300 gold from party inventory.
Yeah, I'm sure
Because I've
no one
never,
notices.
but I'm not going to spend all, hopefully. So I'm going to give each of them 20 gold pieces to start, which I'm going to assume is actually quite a lot.
Depends on the job.
Job is this. And as I go forth to each of them, I will just place my hand on their head, say a few words, and I'll say, the job is to go out amongst the crowd and shout, tell all who come, all who listen, the benefits of worshipping the gods. Tell them anything, but never ever mention Heliod. Tell them how good it is to follow any of the other gods.
Oh, God, we've got the religious fundamentalists, haven't we?
Yep,
You're gonna need a lot more than that, buddy. I'm not stirring that hornet's nest.
I'll plop another 10 gold in everyone's coin pouches.
And the same again when the job's done.
Same again when the job's done. All I need, 24 hours. That's it.
Time to put on a show, boys. They clap their hands. About four of them split up and head to the different districts, each
So what I've
with that same mask on that sort of obscures their identity.
what I've done is on each of them, I have cast Bestow Curse.
Okay.
The curse is whenever they talk about any god that isn't Heliod, it shows whoever's watching them their deepest fears. They can't say it's just an illusion, but it's to stir the hornet's nest a little.
And how subtle is bestow curse?
It is a touch.
Okay, they need a wisdom save for each one. Right, okay.
Yes.
But they would be aware that they are being cursed.
But I am
Okay.
paying them for this, so
Okay. So I'll just quickly do. So I don't know what your spell save DC is.
um,
Assume the 19 and 20 succeed.
they do. Yeah. Spell save DC is 15.
So only one gets cursed, probably the rat folk.
That's fine.
The others take it in stride. They don't seem to be overly bothered because it didn't seem malicious.
Oh. Yeah, the curse itself doesn't hurt them.
And they continue to head out and preach the good words of all the gods except for Heliod.
Yep.
Okay. So while this is happening, anybody else doing anything?
Just to clear up my thought process on this. The idea is if the curse doesn't work, they're going to go out preaching the goodness of all the other gods and hopefully cause some infighting amongst their followers. Heliod's not being mentioned. No infighting. Weakens everyone else.
Okay. Well, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
So, anybody else?
What's the next step up from the slums?
Would be the middle district where the market square is. That's mostly people that have emigrated from Miletus.
Me and Neil will take a little bit of a wander around the market, trying to make it seem completely normal that we're there.
And it's going to come with you.
Okay. Just gonna walk around like there's nothing wrong and it's not weird.
Make a performance check. Okay.
I am wasting all of these
Yeah,
nat
get the
20s
crits out of
today.
the way early, yeah.
Does that count for me as well?
It would do.
Yes. Because I'm trying to stake out this guy that the other guy in the black market wants me to do something about.
So you stroll through the middle district. You get some side eye and some sort of dirty looks, but nobody seems to actively come and interfere with you. The majority of peoples you see here are either human, elf, dwarf, halfling, but there is a handful of other demi-humans, but it makes up a tiny fraction of everybody else. And you can notice that the color scheme of the place is different, whereas the palace and the upper districts are more in the Neo-Atlantean colors. Here it is very clearly the flags and sigils of Miletus. And it is very well off, considering it's called the Middle District. It is marble and clean streets and lots of silks.
I'm just gonna wander around, acting completely normal. Occasional smile to people.
You get some suspicious responses to the smile, but most people seem to be live and let live.
And
Or at least I'm not dealing with that problem. If there's something wrong with that Triton if they're that confident. I'm not dealing with that. Don't mess with crazy.
I am walking around with Bennett and an eelhound, I suppose. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing that for a few days.
Okay.
If I learn anything staking out this fella that the other guy wants me to do something about.
So you see the other apparel shop, the blacksmith, or at least armor smith. It seems just like a normal, well-to-do kind of shop. It seems to be run by a aging dwarf, mostly repairing damaged togas, washing things, that kind of thing, as opposed to armor specifically. But the job that he does is pretty good, and nobody seems to be complaining about him.
What kind of equipment has he got there? Has he got like? I mean, obviously, I doubt he's going to have a full-on sewing machine, but does he have like a mangle or something like that, or anything that might be?
Make an investigation check for me.
Oh, I'm dead good at things, just like I'm dead good at everything else. Shit.
He's got a bunch of tools that you don't quite recognize. His armor and sewing repairs is not your forte, but he's definitely well off. There's definitely a lot of money that goes through this place.
I was to try and set, like, rig something that so everything looks like an accident. I mean, I don't just want to brazenly walk up and kill him. If anything, actually, I don't even want to kill him because Erebus hasn't told me to. I just want to do something that's either going to make it so he can't use his hands anymore, or scare him off, or something.
Your best assumption with that is it does have quite high stacks of armor and basically repairs for the city guard that seem to be stacked, where a strong shove would definitely cause it to collapse, and it would be a very heavy collapse. But there's no like machinery that can be tampered with that you can see. Everything's mostly done by hand.
Town guard quite strict, because I'm thinking if
You've
I can manage
barely
to
seen any of them.
Ah, damn it. So like graffiti in a piece of armor that's going to go back to the city guard that says something like the city guard sucks or something like that isn't going to get them to come around and beat him up.
Something more like direct like that, probably. It's more of the city guard are unlikely to just see a random crime happening, but a direct like sending a message to them, then yeah, they'd probably actually receive that.
Yeah, I'll. Can I attempt to push the stack of armor over and see if it injures him?
Are you trying to do this subtly?
Yeah,
And how are you going about that?
stealthily.
Okay.
Possibly with a stealth check or sleight of hand. I'm good at that too. Either one of them two. Please tell me I can use one of
I'd
them.
say deception, because you're trying to, or either performance, deception or performance, because you're essentially trying to do something while distracting him.
I'll
Can
go
I
with
help out in
deception.
distracting since I'm kind of there.
Are you willing to help Bennett cripple an old dwarf?
Mm. Neil would.
Okay. With Neil bouncing around your heels, Bennett, I will give you advantage on this because everything's now slippery and slightly glowy.
Okay, so yeah. Does that work?
So, as Neil sort of winds his way around this small shop, the elder dwarf tries to scoot him off, slips wholly on the saliva-covered floor, crashes straight into the armor pile, which falls on top of him. It is a gruesome sight, to be sure, as there is hundreds of pounds of kilos of armor, of metal, of various shapes and spikes, all collapsing on this dwarf in the later end of his life. Once the dust settles, though, you can make out a groan. He does seem to be alive under there.
Thank God for that.
Not for how long or how well, that's time will tell.
Oh. I go over and I appear to be assisting him. Only can I try and like break his hands whilst assisting him?
Okay, this I'll give a sleight of hand check.
With advantage still?
Not with advantage on this one.
Oh, but he's incapacitated.
That just means the check's lower. You need a lower roll to succeed. There you go. You
Yeah.
didn't need advantage.
The roll 20 gods have forgiven me. Oh, this is so cool.
As you go over, I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Let me help. And you lift the heaviest looking hoplon that you can find, only to drop it as if it slips out of your fingers directly on top of his. And when you lift it once again to actively try and help, you can see that even with modern medicine, there's no saving his hands. In Theros level, he'd need a high-level cleric. He'd need basically regeneration to get them back.
I appear to be apologising very profusely, and then say it's probably best that I just leave, and I go.
So you leave him half buried in armor.
No, I mean I'll at least get the armor off him. But
Okay.
I'll just, like I said, yeah, it's probably best that I leave. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
And I give him.
He's delirious at this
5
point.
gold.
Okay. Yeah, he's
I've got-
delirious from pain, if not like going in and out of consciousness. Okay. So after that little incident, you notice that the proxy king that you installed tries to gather you all together. Are you going to this summons, or you just ignoring it?
Theos will go. I've set my minions off. I'm happy.
Yeah. I've got
Yeah.
a bit of time to kill before I go back to the black market. Yeah, I will go.
So they step out in full regalia, nice and presentable as the king of Neolantin Terelos. Guards, I will be stepping out of our glorious little city for a moment to see the places that my son used to tell me about. And I would very much like his heroes to escort me. So remain at your posts, and adventurers, heroes, if you would be so kind as to escort me out of the gate.
See if this guy will do something about my armor very quickly. I'll be right back, King.
Okay.
Over I go. Right.
Theos
I
bows deeply and will lead the king.
So
relay the information to the guy at the black market.
he's not there.
Motherfucker, where's he gone?
The place looks gutted. Completely
Moved to a
emptied.
hole. He's moved to a better location.
He moved.
Remembering that, I'm gonna go back to the other place.
Yeah, and sure enough, you go back to the place where only maybe hours earlier you had crushed an old dwarf under tons of armor. The place looks completely different. And that same shady looking individual that you saw in the black market has already well and truly set up shop. Gotta work fast. Don't want someone else taking my profits. And speaking of which, come, hand it over. I'll get it fixed. Promise is a promise.
I hand him over my is it cheating armor? How do you say that?
Cheat on, yeah.
Cheat on.
So he takes it and heads into the back with it. Be done for tomorrow.
Okay. That as long as I don't end up in danger between now and then, that's okay. I'll be back.
I'm glad you said that. Ever the optimist. So, is everybody escorting the king? Or the proxy king?
If we're expecting danger, because I don't have any armor, and if we're going to be expecting danger, I think Bennett's going to get a stomach bug.
Everyone else? I know Dios, you said you will be following, but Scuds, Nidra and Zulk.
Oh yeah, Scouts is definitely going.
Onwards.
Okay, so you escort. Sorry, Bennett, are you going as well?
Yeah, I'll come too.
Okay, just stay behind everyone.
Just about to say, if the
There's-
shit hits the fan, I'm running.
You can always hide behind Scouts, just be further than 10 feet away.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
So you escort King Teros in his full glorious armor out the front of the gate and follow the path against the coast to a familiar looking scorch mark in the ground. The scorch mark where you landed from using the traveler's amulet.
Oh,
Where lying smoking in the center of said scorch mark is a second King Teralos, this time in rags and about half the weight he was when you sent him. Literally just a skeleton with skin draped over it.
okay.
Scouts feels a little uneasy about sending him to Granny now.
Still alive. I can put him out of his misery if anybody would like me to.
It honestly might be for the best.
Hang
The proxy
Granny's
king.
quite
Okay.
sorry. Granny's quite capable of doing that herself, and in slightly more interesting ways. This guy's back here for a reason, and I look very pointedly at the slightly fatter king.
Well, and with that, it is time I take my leave. And they strip out of their regalia, leave it next to the gasping skeleton, before, in a flash of green fire, a bird flies away. A small crow flies away.
That's a fine goodbye, isn't it?
Scott's just standing there waving as the bird flies away. Right to me! She's gonna
Okay.
go
Go on.
stand over the old king and just look really intimidating and hope that everybody else will come and hassle him. She's just gonna like leer at him.
You leer at him, and you almost feel worried that your stare alone will knock the last fragments of life out of him. He's that level of feeble.
Are you gonna still be a jerk? She pulls a piece of beef jerky out and gives it to him.
He recoils in horror at the idea of food.
That's not even chocolate.
As
She
he
puts it away.
grasps at his throat. Please, just what? Where is my son? I just need to see my son once again.
Want me to tell him?
I will do
Um,
whatever you ask. Just let me see my son.
You see Dios visibly grips his pike harder and looks very angrily at Bennett.
It shrugs his shoulders. I can use my disguise kit and try and look like it.
He's on vacation.
I see. So it seems that my efforts to save the remains of my family simply cost me everything. Did you at least bury him?
Yes.
Say that. Yes, we buried him.
A very lovely cask.
I see. He gets himself to his feet, but he's struggling. Even the slight ocean breeze seems to just knock him off his balance. Very well. I have lost everything and died back there. I will be whatever puppet you heroes deem me to be. Just let me grieve. As he tries his best to pick up the regalia, the armor that the proxy left behind, but just cannot lift it.
I'll step in, put him around my shoulders, and help him at least put a cloak on to keep the chill off him.
Can we just go back a minute to what he said? I want to see my son. Can I like lift my cloak up and show him the tattoo of his son screaming?
Yeah,
I was so hoping you would do that.
He'd give the
Why do
same
you want to talk about-
response, but yeah, that would make sense.
Dios bares his teeth and snarls at Bennett.
I
So
said he was
what?
on
Yeah.
vacation. I didn't say where.
You've already taken the man's son, Bennett. Why must you torment him further? And I'll just help him away from the group.
And he just
Does
looks at everybody else in the group and just goes, "What?" He asked.
Does anyone else see a problem with this skeleton coming back after we just had full meat king leave? Like, he went on a crash diet the last 20 minutes.
Does that?
Gonna start an MLM here too. Scuts is gonna make something that looks like a smoothie and hand it to the king and just tell him to tell everybody he's been drinking that. Here.
He
Boar
takes
juice.
he takes a sip, only to double over and vomit. And in the goo, you see a small cockroach suddenly scuttle out and into the bush or into the grass.
That was not in the boar juice. You don't have to drink it. Just tell everybody you do. Is my microphone? Oh my! Just tell everybody you do.
Very well. So, is there anything else you'd want to do to the now returned King Terelos before you take him back into the city?
Not a lot I can do to fatten him up. Anyone good with the loot?
I can turn myself into the kid again.
I can use a disguise kit on the king to make him look fat.
Would you like to?
I think if there's anything Theros can actually do, I don't think there is.
If we're all together as a group, I can try the disguise kit, and if the roll's bad, everybody can just diss Bennett and say, "You're shit. Don't do that again." Certainly wouldn't push him out in public looking terrible.
No, you've just got 2 20s in a row. It should be fine.
Yes, because there was always a third one.
Yeah. So you basically take some extra bits of cloth and it basically is cape to pad out underneath his robes and carry his armor separately because he just doesn't have the strength to wear it himself. But if you look too close, it's very clear that he's stuffed as opposed to actually healthy. But it's good enough.
We have a fat king dish.
Oh, what are you talking about, Bennett? He looks great now. You did awesome. She's gonna give him a solid pat on the back.
So you take the enfeebled king, now well padded, back into Neolanton. He stumbles a few times, but with Dios basically half carrying him, you make it back without too much issue. The captain of the guard definitely can tell if something's wrong, but a stern look from the king very swiftly puts an end to his assumptions.
Can I, just as I'm carrying him, I change my epithets before we start?
Yeah,
I'm going to use one of them. I'm going to use the Baptist.
remember what that does.
So as a bonus action. It's not a dice roll. As a bonus action, you may touch a friendly creature and move one condition affecting it. So if he's got any conditions on him, if he's poisoned or anything like that, or diseased, one of them goes away.
It definitely seems a little more able to walk, but definitely still needs the support. You essentially removed a level of exhaustion from him. I'll put it that way.
Okay, I'll do it again. Take another one off him.
So make a medicine check for me.
It wasn't an advantage, but the first one was pretty good.
So you notice the second time you try and use it, it doesn't particularly work. And you think, what on earth could have actually happened to this man? But you've heard of less than savoury members of the clergy of different gods and of Heliods in desperate times, using the power of healing magic to repair an overly tortured individual. You get the feeling this guy was essentially brought to within an inch of his life, healed back up, and then done all over again for 2 solid weeks.
Oh,
So those scars run deep. Though what type of torture? You get the fact that he threw up a cockroach. It depends on how much detail you actually want from me.
I think I'm good.
So you bring the enfeebled but slightly more peppy king back to the palace, which he just retires to his room and bars the door to stop even the guards from being able to come in. With the puppet king returned, is there anything you would like to do in Near Lantern?
Don't leave. We don't need a city, right? Oh, that's the point. I need to go figure out exactly what my minions have done.
Okay. So you return to the amphitheatre where you find the same troop of bards the following day after they've spent the day preaching. And they look to you with mild surprise. They were very much not expecting you to come and show your face. Usually people don't follow up on payments.
Well, I need to see how well they've done first.
So we preached. We told them all about all the other gods. Left out Heliod for whatever reason you felt was necessary. And the majority fell on deaf ears. The majority of people here in Near Lantern aren't overly fond of the gods, as much lip service as we love to pay them. Only the devout at the temple really care, and that's only because they remember, or want us all to remember what happened. But a few of them sparked a few disagreements, had some interesting moments. Passionately, their little rats caused a full-on riot. Apparently, 2 people thought the other was some great evil from their nightmares and went for each other. Would have loved to have seen that. So go on, the rest of the money.
Sounds like you had an interesting time. I'll just toss them the money as requested.
If you ever need a professional acting troupe, give us something that's not religious next time. We prefer working with more human or mortal material, the power of the flesh.
Anyone who is looking directly at Theros as he says that, you see him give a little wry smile as he just turns and walks away.
Okay. So, disagreements formed. The tortured
Go on.
Puppet King is back and locked himself away.
I think
Oh, God.
we need to go see the king one last time. Or at least Dios will go see him in private.
So, you head up to his chambers and rasp on the door to no response.
I'll just barge in.
How so? The door is very much locked.
Okay. I'll jam into the side of the door frame and prise it open.
Okay. Make an athletics check.
Athletics.
It doesn't budge.
All 28 to me today.
It really does.
That's okay.
You've taken Bennett's luck.
It's all good. Where are we? Ah, there we go. What are the walls made out of?
Marble.
Marble. Do you count marble as stone?
It certainly is a stone.
I'll meld through the
Oh,
wall.
fucking hell. Okay. So you meld into one side of the wall and pop out the other side.
Yep. Meld
Because
into
it's only a wall. It's probably not even the thickness of a person.
Nope.
So it's quite easy enough to fit through to the other side.
Yep.
To
That's never coming off my prepared list, by the way.
all right, one of the best third level spells. To which you find an empty, wrecked royal chamber.
Okay.
Place is in tatters. Any of the sheets have been either torn up or sort of tied together, leading essentially out of the room. And basically any furniture or clothes have all been sort of destroyed.
Okay. Is the king around?
Not that you can see.
Okay. I'll start rummaging. Start really looking for him. Any idea where he's gone? Any secret passageways? That sort of thing.
The most obvious thing is it seems that he's tied together some of the basically the bedding to escape off the balcony.
Okay. I will go to the door, unlock it, open the door, scream out for some guards. Guards! Guards! The king requires you!
There's probably about 6 hoplites show up.
Sound the alarm. Someone's broken into the king's quarters and kidnapped him. They took off the balcony. Find him.
They nod, but seem a bit confused and leave without too much haste.
Curious. But, I've done my bit.
Anyone else in the party that was there? Wendy, I said this, would also have heard him shouting for the guards and saying something about the king. If any of you want to do anything,
Scuts is gonna come and poke her head in. Oh man.
Oh, shit. I just remembered. Okay. I am going to say, Scots, exactly. You're who I need. I'm going to pull a knife from my belt and just cut a bit of her fur off.
Hey, my floof!
Sorry,
Me
I
too.
need this. And I will just hold it out of my hands and just close my eyes and then grab it really hard, and you see a burst of sunlight from it. I'm going to cast Locate Creature.
Okay.
I know where the guy is if he's in 1,000 feet of me.
He, you know, the specific location,
I sense a direction to
the
the creature.
direction, down.
And if it's moving, I know the direction of its movement.
It is not moving. It's down. Do you know the distance away?
1 second. The spell can locate a specific creature known to you or the nearest creature, as long as you've seen. I don't know the specific distance.
Okay. You just know he's down and not moving.
Okay. He's in the crypt, isn't he? Okay. Okay. Everyone wait here. I'm going to go to the basement and have a word with the guy. I can't believe I burnt my 4th level spell for that. Okay.
So you head round to where the entrance into the cellar would be, but it is blocked by the captain of the guard and 2 other guards.
See. So this is how it's going to go.
Is there something you need, Master Hero?
The king.
He is indisposed at the moment. Family matters.
Hey, and Scuts will have followed Dios down. She did the thing where he didn't notice she followed him.
The stealth
'Cause she's
follow.
so quiet. Yeah. Oh, look at this. It's so cool. She's going to open her shirt.
Okay.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
They make a deception check, Scott.
This shouldn't be hard. She definitely thinks that her shirt is the coolest thing in the world. So she's 100% serious when she's trying to tell him to come check it out. Doo, 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 doo. Even though my charisma sucks.
They
Yeah.
they don't even flinch. It's Master Heroes. The king has requested his isolation, and I'm loath to break that oath, especially after, you know.
I understand the king is going through a difficult time at the moment with the unfortunate loss of his son. I'm not speaking as a hero right now, but as a priest. I can help him.
I think you've helped enough.
Say I haven't helped enough yet. I'll just turn on my heel and leave.
Anyone
Put
else?
it in the bag so bad.
You're welcome to make an attempt. There's 2 other guards, so depends if you can get a 3 for.
Oh,
I'm no longer there now, by the way.
if only Sogeg were here.
If only.
Who's
Who?
Sogag?
Too busy. Jim's
Jim.
connection to the world is a bit spotty.
Jim Fasto.
He's currently getting high in the slums, trying to reclaim Pogag.
So I remember going down the stairs before when we went down here last time, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stand to the side and pretend I'm like looking at some grass or something, but I'm gonna grab out my magical paints I'm
Okay.
gonna paint a door big enough for Scuts to get through.
Okay. So you'd have to go back into the palace to be above the crypt.
Oh, I can't do it right next to the guards.
I mean, you can just literally paint around the ground in front of them, but basically they're stood in front of the stairs that lead away
that's fair.
from them.
All right, let's go. Let's go to the floor above where the crypt is.
Okay.
She's gonna sprint up to Dios. Dios, Dios! Oh, what
Make sure how
idea!
these bloody pigments work.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I don't
fuck,
like
I
it when you have ideas. It usually involves hitting something very hard.
This time it doesn't, though! And she just, like, grabs him and starts running to the level above the
Okay,
crypt.
okay. Must you grab my mane while you run away?
She's just trying to get a piece of fur back, like, you know, tuft for tuft, man.
That's not a fight you want to start with me. Because you will wake up one morning shaved.
No! That's terrifying. All right.
Nope, I'll do it. I will do it.
I'm gonna try to look around and see if Bennett's anywhere near. I feel like he would want in on this.
Yeah, would anyone else want to join these crazy kids in their hijinks?
Yeah,
No.
Bennett can be there.
I don't want to be part
Sure.
of this.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, everybody's there. Party fun
Okay.
times. As you
Scott's just
paint
gonna.
a door onto the marble, much to the confusion of some of the other guards. But they don't seem to stop you. They're just like, yeah, this shit again. What are they doing? As you paint a big old trapdoor and you flick it open, and sure enough, there is a ladder going straight down into the crypt.
Okay. Okay.
I'd like a perception check from everybody, please. Actually, no, Arcana check, sorry, from everybody, please.
Oh, I know nothing. But not as nothing as Zulk.
Well, that's accurate. That Bennett would be the only one to very distinctly smell the types of incense somebody would burn when trying to cast a resurrection spell.
I relay that information to Dios.
She has a fucking huge diamond to hand. Which, being the king, he may well have. Either way, we need to get down there. I'm going to assume Erebos is going to be upset if the king's son returns from death.
Yeah, I think it'd be a bit miffed.
So, do you all drop down and rush after?
I'll just drop it.
Definitely does.
I feel like Scuts is gonna shut the door and scuff it and erase it because otherwise the guards are gonna follow him down.
So you're gonna trap Diaz and Bennett down there.
Ugh. I don't know. Well, it's
figure it out.
between.
I'll figure it out. Don't worry about me.
All right, I'll shut the door and stand guard on it, but I'm ready to scuff it if someone starts trying to go in it.
Salt, Natrin, are you going down?
I'll stay with Scuds.
Is it
Guard
like
in
an
the
actual
entrance.
door or a trapdoor type deal?
So it's a trapdoor with a little bit of ladder going down into the crypt, all cell shaded and nicely sort of painted by Scuds. or very ornate.
I will sit on the trapdoor.
Just on the top, you're just going to sit on the trapdoor.
Yep.
Okay.
That way, the guards have to move me to follow.
They definitely look at you peculiar, but they've seen you playing weirder games, so...
I was just gonna say, I'm pulling out one of my muscles and monsters maps and I'm putting it over the trapdoor.
Amazing.
So, Dios, Bennett, you would reach the crypt to where you see the anemic king just hunched over the lightly decayed corpse of his son, and the ornate chest that you left him in, where he had trapped the nightmare shepherd, is gone, and in its place is this sort of pitch black shadow. Even though there's plenty of lights, as the king is burning a lot of incense and all this sort of performative or ritualistic iconography, and there's this sort of basically the wall behind where the chest was is a void.
Okay. As soon as I see that, I'm just gonna stamp my my pike on the floor. Say enough. And has to throw magic at it.
At what level?
At third, it's a third level spell. But I'm
Okay.
gonna, I still gonna have to make the check. So
Make the check, yeah.
there it is. A spellcasting ability check. So it's wisdom check. I don't think I will get guidance on this. So 16 is pretty good.
So you slam your pike down, put your hand out, and say, enough. And you can see the darkness shimmer. As you can see the ritual almost fighting back, but losing. So it is dispelling, but it's not an instant dispel in this case.
I'll stick another one on it then.
Well, I'll give Bennett a chance to do something first.
Is there anything I can do? It's very much
So-
very much magical, and I know nothing about magic.
But this is very much underworld, and you can tell that rift is a passage to the underworld trying to be formed.
Kick him into it.
You hear muffled from above. The guards look at it sort of like, kick point? What on earth are they doing?
Zulk, you managed to kick him into the pit. Good job. She rolls a dice.
Yay!
That's a weird spot. How do you get the ball back out of the pit?
The what?
I think you're playing a sport, kicking balls into pits.
Oh god.
I'm kind of I don't know what to do, because I feel like Bennett would want to go down to the underworld, but I don't want to go down to the underworld and have Dios close the door behind me.
Oh, he'll do it.
I sod it in for a penny, in for a pound, right? Yeah,
I will stop Bennett if he tries to kill the king.
No, I'm not going to kill the king. I'll put my arm through the portal just to see what happens.
Okay. It goes through, and it is frigid cold. You can almost feel the flesh of your hands start to shrivel and blacken just from the crushing, just devoid of warmth on the opposite side. Which matches up well to what you'd think of for the underworld.
Hmm. Can I put my head through and see what I can see?
You can certainly try.
I will try then.
Okay. Make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh, that's not good.
Okay. So, feeling your hand sort of numb, curiosity overtakes you. You push your head through the portal and see the depths of the underworld. This horrible, bleak, grey landscape of hopelessness. But as you try and pull back, you end up pushing yourself further and further in until you are on the other side of the rift.
Uh-oh.
You see your skin starting to turn greyish black as the warmth escapes you. Not doing any damage, but you can just see that this is a place where the living aren't supposed to be. While this is happening, Theos. You see Bennett put his hand and then his head and then the rest of his body through the portal while you're trying to close it. What would you like to do?
Keep trying to close it.
Okay. Are you continuing to dispel magic? Make another check. This one won't cost you a spell slot, though. This is essentially you continuing your previous one. Okay. So you can see it very much still fighting, but with Bennett going through it, it seems to have almost strengthened, but it's still not stable. It's still fighting a losing battle. You get the feeling just from this, the amount of time you spent focusing on this magical anomaly, that the ritual the king had prepared is probably also fueling it.
I'm just mutter under my breath. Come on, Bennett. I'm not going to go in there after you.
So, while this is going on, Nadrin, you'd probably hear what's going on because you're. Oh, both Nadrin and Scuts would hear what's going on because you're under the door. Zolk, you're just happy sitting on your little trapdoor. So, would Nadrin or Scuts, would you want to do anything after you see or hear Bennett disappear and Dios swear under his breath?
Yeah, fuck it. Scuts will slide down the ladder and book it over there. God, what's wrong, Dios? Where's Bennett?
He just points at the horrible black mass in front of him.
Do you got a rope? I think. Do I still have a rope, or did we decide it dissolved in the river when we dipped Sulk?
I think somebody will have rope. I think you have less rope than you started with, but I think somebody has rope.
Between me and Dios, is there enough for me to try to tie something around my waist before I can go jump in the hole?
You're
Where's
gonna
Zolk?
jump in
This
the
feels
hole.
like his job. I don't know. If I can try to anchor myself to the other side?
There are the big structural support pillars in the crypt that you would be able to tie a rope around.
Are there? Or I was gonna tie it to Dios.
It depends on how sturdy you think Dios is compared to a big concrete slab.
Hmm. But what if I just secretly want him to come with me? All
There's
right.
Or you
that too.
want to tie him up.
Scuts is gonna try to find somewhere to anchor the rope.
Draw
Might collapse the
a
building.
point.
What?
Draw a climbing piton.
Oh my god, Dios, you're brilliant! Scuts will grab out some of her pigments and draw an anchor point to tie the rope to. And probably a few extra feet of rope while she's at it.
Okay.
Okay.
While this is happening, we'll go back to Bennett. So Bennett, you see this endless, creepy expanse of shadows and mist and the occasional lights in the distance. And you can feel oddly welcome in this place, despite being alive and very much not supposed to be here. But I will need another Constitution saving throw, please.
Well, the last one weren't great, so this one can't be as bad. No, fucking.
Okay. I need to mark that down. So, as you look out into the distance, what would you like to do?
Do I know exactly where this is?
Other than the underworld, no.
Is there any landmarks that I can, preferably close by? I don't want to get too far away from this pole.
Make a perception check for me while I look up the landmarks of the underworld. Okay. So you look out into the just horror of the underworld. The only thing that you can spot is in amongst all these sort of broken pillars and stuff like that, there is it's halfway between a palace and a castle with a great tree with black leaves sprouting from the top. And it seems to show some of the only colour here in the tiny little red fruits that seem to be growing off it. On top of that, you also see some of these creatures begin to notice you.
Okay, yeah, that looks awesome.
They look like fun.
Can I sneak towards this tree? It seems intriguing.
You can make an attempt if you wish. So, using your sharply honed skills, you set off through this sort of mud and fog-filled plain towards this great palace and the tree before it. While that's going on, back in the mortal world, Dios and Skuts, and Nadrin, if you want to get involved as well, what are you doing?
I'm still going to try and close this gate. At this point, Dios is like, Bennett's made his bed now. Has my the spell magic ended?
You can either try and maintain it to keep trying to close the rift. I'm not having it count as more spell slots for each one you use. It's more just it's fighting back rather than an instant click. It's gone because the ritual that's created it is still ongoing. It's like
I'm stopping it
a
from
battle.
finishing, though. I'm basically holding back the tide a little bit.
Yes, you're stopping it from becoming permanent.
Yes, so I'm going to keep doing that then.
Okay, so you're no longer trying to close it. You just want to try and stop it from completing the ritual.
Yeah, I'm changing my tack. I'm looking for a stalemate rather than a win.
Okay,
Just let
then
me do a bit more, go for other avenues to go against it.
I will still take the wisdom check though.
No problem.
Okay. So this is less on whether you can beat it and more to see how well you are at maintaining keeping it
Yes.
at this point.
Yes. Not letting it go further.
Yeah. So you do manage to keep it held. You can see some of the brickwork behind the rift now actually showing through, so it seems to be a lot less stable. Scott's tied up and in your painted, cell-shaded rope and pitons and climbing gear. What would you like to do?
A great question, but they're not here right now.
Ah, whoops. Well, Natrin, you're here. What do you want to do?
I don't know.
Theos is a bit busy keeping the status quo at the moment.
What's the king doing?
The king seems to be just muttering to himself while clutching the dead body of his son in the center of this ritual.
I try and move him away.
And how are you planning on doing that?
I feel like having him in the middle of this ritual is probably not the best place for him.
You also get the feeling that he is a part of the ritual.
Hmm.
If you move him, the ritual would probably end.
Trapping Bennett in there. Really don't know what to do here.
Well, I'll give you a bit more time to think as we'll go back to Bennett in the underworld. So you stealthed probably about 100 feet away from the portal. You can still see it, you still know where it is, but you've made some distance. You can spot about 3 woe striders that have definitely noticed something is going on, but haven't noticed you specifically as you try and push towards this palace with this great black tree. What would you like to do?
I'm going to see if I can continue getting towards this.
Okay. First of all, a stealth check, please. Okay. Give me a perception check, too. Okay. It is very foggy, which is great for hiding in, not great for knowing where your footing is or the details of what's around you. Nothing great that you noticed so far. You definitely feel yourself getting a bit more almost acclimatized to the underworld. Although I will need another Constitution saving throw, please. Okay. So yeah, while you feel yourself get a little more acclimatized, the warmth of life is still very much within you.
Okay.
Are you ready to go back to the surface? Back to the mortal world. Have you got an idea,
Am I?
Nadrin? Oh no, not for Bennett. You're still pushing forward.
Oh,
It's
right,
more
yeah, I'm still there.
switching
that's fine.
scenes. We split the party.
Can I go up to the portal and do I see anything just from looking in it?
It is ink black. Just it shimmers almost like water, but you can't see through it. But you do get
Okay.
this sort of feeling of cold around it, and it's very much different to the cold you're both used to and resistant to. This feels more like a hopeless cold. It's very similar to the Eater of Hope from Lopus. That same level of just hopelessness, that just lifelessness.
Okay. Still don't really know what to do.
Well, now Skuts is back, all tied up with your painted on pitons. What would you like to do?
All right, tied in, anchored down. Scuts is going to try to step through to go in for Bennett.
Okay, so are you just barreling through without care in the world, or are you trying to be cautious about it?
Bennett went through. So she's not. We're going in enthusiastically. We're not running in at a full sprint, but she's just gonna kind of prance on in there. Not really scared to touch it.
Okay, you step on through, and again, you just feel this cold grip you. As you look at your fingers, hands, and extremities seem to start to turn grey as you reach to the other side of the rift. Made a Constitution saving throw, please.
This gray looks slightly more gray.
But undaunted by the literal death taking hold of you, you barrel on forwards. This bright white light in this dim grayscale world. You can't see Bennett, but you can see, as I said, this misty plain with, in the near distance, this palace with a great tree like an oak with black leaves and glimmering red fruit in the distance, as well as pillars and chains that seem to fade into the distance, and a handful of these strange humanoid yet disturbingly limbed striders roaming around and very clearly noticing you.
Oh, what cute leggy boys. Don't pet stuff. Scuts reminds herself that she's not here. It's not a petting zoo. We're here to find Bennett. Can I tell if he's left any footprints or if this is where he came through?
Make
Use my...
a perception or survival.
I think we're gonna go with survival, yeah.
So usually the mist would obscure everything, but undaunted by the rules of any world you decide to inhabit, you can see where it was recently disturbed. So as if something has passed through it, and the movement of the air has caused it to swirl, and you can see essentially this carved path through the mist.
I will see if Scuts can you does smooth brained. All right, we're just gonna follow through where I can see the fog has been disturbed.
Are you being stealthy about it at all?
Do the Woe Striders look like they're going to attack me?
They have all stopped and are staring at you. And considering they were already making their way towards this rift, probably.
Oh shit, they're heading towards the rift?
Yes.
Ooh.
They knew something is up, but they couldn't, as far as you can tell, they've not detected Bennett. But they have definitely detected you and the rift.
If I continue towards where Bennett has gone, do they follow where I walk?
So as you walk forward, they don't just come up to you curiously. They are beelining for you. Full sprint towards you. And as they stare at you, even from the distance they are, you feel a little weaker. Not so much that your physical strength is gone, but the source of your strength is gone. Like the wild magic that powers you is no longer accessible while they stare at you.
Uh-oh.
While this is happening, Bennett, you're about, I'd say about 200 feet now away from the rift. You've noticed that something has caught the Woe Riders' attention and they are rushing towards them, but it's a bit too far away to properly make out. But you are also quite close to this palace and this tree.
I'm going for the tree.
Okay. Stealth and perception, please. So you make your way towards the tree, and at a certain point, it seems to stop getting closer. Like it's almost moving at the same rate that you are. But as you do keep going, the mists around your waist and knees sorts of dissipate as you find one of the fruits of this tree sat on the ground, just looking sparkly like a fallen ruby.
Yeah, pick it up.
Okay, you pick it up. It fits quite comfortably in the palm of your hand. You can make a nature or survival check to try and see if it's like any fruit you've seen or heard of before. This is very clearly magical of some kind, but is eerily similar to a pomegranate, which immediately, as a champion of Erebus, would click in your mind that that tree is the tree of Tisrius, and this is a fruit from Tisrius. The one thing that grows in the land of the dead.
Can I take a bite out of it?
You certainly can. So the typical way you would eat this would be similar to a pomegranate, where you would peel it and eat the seeds within. Are you going to peel it?
Yeah.
You see, it's got probably close to 100 seeds within.
So have a few seeds.
How many's a few?
Well, let's start with one. Just see how it tastes.
That's Bob. Okay, you eat one of the fruit of Tisrius, and you feel satisfied. Like this feels right to eat. But also, it sort of spreads that cold that was grasping at your body now to your insides. Your hit point maximum is reduced by 1.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like that, so I'm going to stop eating that now. But I put it in my pocket. I'll take
You're
it
going to take
back.
the rest of it.
Yeah.
Okay. You definitely feel like as much as this thing has sort of pulled a little bit of your life away, you feel like it is the right thing to do. Or to have done. Good to have stopped, but good to have done it as well. Well, this is happening. Back to the surface world, back to the mortal realm, with Dios and Nadrin, and Zolk if you're bored sat on the trapdoor. Is there anything you'd want to do?
Still maintaining the status quo.
Okay, give me that wisdom.
Not so hot this time.
Okay. You can see that the ritual is starting to win out a bit. It's not permanent yet, but it's definitely sort of undone some of the progress that you've made. Nadrin, Zolk, anything? Maybe Neil?
Oh.
You sat there with a box of popcorn, just enjoying yourself.
Yeah, I have a feeling if I tried to help, I'd make it worse.
Why do you think I'm encouraging you to help?
I see.
Yeah, I really don't know what I could do other than being really dumb and going myself, so I'm just gonna stand very nervously somewhat near the portal.
Okay. Leaving the king and his deceased son to themselves.
I don't want to mess with the portal while those two are in there. And I
Okay.
really don't know what else to do.
Then we'll jump to Scuts. Scuts, you are pushing through the mists, following the trail that Bennett left behind, but these Woast Riders are beelining it towards you, and as they stare at you, you can feel the magic within you just fail or wither.
Can I try to reach into my granny pocket to see if it still works? I'm gonna try to rummage around and pull something out.
Roll a d20 for me. Okay. Go ahead and have a rummage.
If stuff comes out, stuff can go in. Oh god.
I believe you've got the epithet to roll twice and pick the one you want.
Yeah. I still kind of want to bring out the orc war chief though.
Okay, you reach into the bag, and it takes a while for you to grip something. Like the connection isn't broken, but it's definitely not stable. Like it doesn't belong here. But you reach in and grab what feels like a piece of marble, only to pull out the upper half of a very angry orc war chief that also starts to turn grey as the deathly cold begins to envelop them.
Hey, pal, I really could use a friend right now.
What the fuck's that? What are you doing?
So roll with me on this one. We're in the underworld,
What?
and I
I
made
thought
some
we
new
were in the underworld.
friends. I'm gonna pull him the rest of the way out before he can like try to scramble back in. While
Okay,
we're
he flops onto the muddy ground. At this point, the Welsh Riders are about 30 feet away from you. They
I'm
are barreling down.
going to try to leave him there as bait and see if I can follow Bennett.
How are you doing that? Are you trying to sneak away, or are you just sprinting to try and get further away from the Welsh Riders so that they focus on the orc?
Yes, I'm gonna try to sneak away.
Sneak.
I'll give
So
give him a
basically,
piece of
are you going for
beef
speed or
jerky.
sneak? Which one?
Uh,
Basically, it's athletics or
sneak.
stealth.
All right, let's go with athletics. We can
Yeah, I
run
thought so.
faster. Okay, I'm just gonna leave him with a piece of beef jerky to nibble on while I run away. Maybe.
So you leap over the prone orc and zip straight past the nearest woe strider as it's essentially coming from the direction where Bennett went. The woe strider turns, but the other two fall on the orc, and you can hear the ghastly screams of this orc as whatever these things are doing to it, it's not something you particularly want to turn back and watch.
Then she won't. She's gonna keep on. She's gonna keep on trucking towards where Bennett was going.
Okay, Bennett, you very much hear the scream of a dying orc. He's not dead, and probably won't be for a while. Aside from that, you have the Fruit of Tisrius in your pocket, and there is the palace and the tree in front of you.
Can I, before I make the decision to turn around and head back, can I just look around and see if there's anything else that catches my interest other than the palace? I don't feel that bothered about going there, but if there's anything that looks good.
Okay. You would be able to say, well, make a perception check first. Can't really see a great deal further out. At this point, you can just about see where the edge of some, essentially, it's a great coastline, but full of this purplish ink with waterfalls falling from this endless depth or height in the sky, crashing into them. But that's about all you see. Is basically you right before this great palace, and then probably about 200 to 300 feet in one direction, because it's kind of hard to tell north from south down here. There seems to be this coast to this great purple sea.
Right, I think I'm going to turn around and go back the way I came. Because the fact that there's a lot of screaming going on.
Okay. I need a Constitution save from both Bennett and Scuts because I forgot to ask you before.
Oh, whack.
I need a save from Scuts as well. Okay. Bennett, you turn and begin to run back the way you came, but your body just feels sluggish, like it's not wanting to go back in that direction. It wants you to turn back around and continue pushing the way you went. But as you push forward, you do bump into Scuts. At this point, has a very, very taut rope behind because you're about 150 feet away from the portal.
Bumping into it, Bennett puts his hand on her shoulder and says, "What are you doing here? You don't belong here."
I came after you, best buddy. I don't know if Dios is gonna try to close the portal. What are you doing in here? Also, this guy, and she's gonna gesture at the Woe Strider. I think
It's
that was
like nipping at your heels, literally right behind you. Yeah. Oh yes, Woe
Bennett's like,
Strider.
okay, we need to leave. I've been here too long. We need to go.
I'm gonna try to tug on the rope as I reach out towards Bennett. See if I can like signal Dios to help reel me in.
Dios is a bit busy right now.
It would be
Trying to-
Natrin. Natrin's the
Oh,
one next
shit.
to the rope.
Nah.
Okay.
Feeling hench.
As I see her taut, trying to pull against the rope, I will just give her a quick bop and give her guidance. Just that's all I've got. That's all I can do to help.
I'll do what I can.
You get a D4 on whatever you roll, so whatever skill.
Okay. Can I have Neil help out?
Okay. He is very slippery.
He's also a lot stronger than me.
He is stronger, but it would make the rope harder to grip for anyone that's not Neil.
I mean, I could do it if I'm called over.
Are
Maybe.
you strong?
A bit.
Just tie
He's
it
good
to
at arm
the.
wrestling.
He's got his little lawnmower. Tie it to the end of that, and then drive the other way.
Yeah,
That's terrifying.
I'm more than happy to do that.
I can definitely think of a couple solutions that Nadrin and Zolk would have.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Zolk, please come help.
I'm gonna use the Doom Wheel.
Because
I
they
see
don't
no problem doing
bring the
this if
Doom
it's
Flare
one
down.
goes.
The guards are definitely now alarmed at you pulling this sphere of spikes and death down under this trapdoor, and definitely go off to make their observations known.
Suppose I don't have a way to hide it yet, do I?
No, you probably would have to actually ride it through the palace, just tearing up the floor as you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is fine. It's just a rat and his contraptions. No one needs to worry about
Remember
that.
what the nightmare vehicle actually does. Right, okay.
It does stuff.
Try
Must
and
I remember
put-
it does donuts very well.
Yes, it does.
You didn't manage to steal anyone's nightmares for it, so you haven't got any bonuses from that, but you don't really need it. Okay. So, down plops Zulk on his spinning wheel of death. What would you like to do?
Tie the rope to the wheel.
And how are you planning on doing that with a taut rope? Are you going to untie it from the pillar to tie it to the rope? Or tie it to your wheel?
Ooh. Do I have rope? No. I have a lot of stuff and rope is not it. I was thinking we just attach more rope to the rope and then to the wheel.
Well, you need rope for that.
I also don't have rope.
Well,
How do we not have rope?
150
used
feet
it
of
all.
rope is currently already outstretched to keep Scutson out there.
I didn't think this
String,
far
but
ahead.
I don't think that's going to help from where I am.
Alright.
Come on, you've got this. I can think of loads of ways you could just chaos the shit out of this.
The cogs are turning.
But Nadrin as well, you've definitely got some abilities.
The cogs are not turning over here.
You could do it.
Right, hold on.
Believe.
If it's let's see. What would Scuts do?
Scott's note that while the Welsh Rider is looking at both you and Bennett, neither of you can use magic.
Ooh.
Which includes going into a rage, because you have magical rages.
Could I use so where is the rope taut to?
It is tied to basically one of the pillars that are holding the room up.
Okay. Could I use mold earth to have some of the ground grab it halfway between? Get a loose rope to work with. And I can tie it with that.
I mean, if you untie the rope, they're not going to just sort of fly off into the underworld. It's more to help pull them back faster. They still have the same gravity over there. It's not like they're stuck in that sense. It's more to know the way back. Unless you want to, drag them across all the mud along the way in as well.
Anything's better than these woe striders.
It would definitely increase the speed against the woe striders that Scott Bennett, give me a perception check if you want to see what is happening to the orc that has two of them on it.
I'll take it back.
I don't want to know.
Bennett, do you want to know?
Yeah. I mean, well,
He
So-
doesn't say he looked.
I'll give you a quote from the description of Woe Striders. Sadistic things, Woe Striders seek ways to reweave themselves into the tapestry of destiny. This leads them to search for answers within the bowels of other beings, performing murderous horospicey in the pursuit of discarded cosmic purpose. In other words, the orc is very much still alive. Most of his insides are now outsides, and they're trying to tell the future with those outsides.
I
yeah,
really don't like how close the other one is.
Bennett just looks at Scott and says, "We really need to get out of here now."
I'll try to. Bennett, is it okay if Scuts scoops you up to her with her arm and holds on you and just I'm gonna start running fast?
Yeah, you do whatever you gotta do.
I'm gonna start trying to run with Bennett.
Okay. make an athletics check. Oh,
This is
yeah,
gonna be the
athletics.
one time I don't got this.
And I need a Constitution saving throw from Scuts, please.
Is there any way that I can help that along with like an acrobatics check or something? So I'm gonna like.
It's still a pass.
Hold on to
It's
that.
still a pass.
Oh, right, okay. That's good.
Not as good. I'm feeling tired. The underworld is
It's
zapping me.
for one, yeah, the underworld is zapping you with your strength, but also that you can't fully see the ground, so you don't want to put a hoof on a uneven piece of ground and fall on your face.
Can't drop my best friend Bennett.
Okay.
I did good on the Constitution save though.
Back to the surface. Dadrin, Zulk, have the Brain Trust come up with a scheme. And also, Dias, I need another wisdom check. Okay. The rift is looking stabler, which is both a good and bad thing. So, Nadrin, Sulk, ideas?
I mean, other than sticking the rope to the wheel and then lifting the wheel with something.
Using it as a
just ramming
winch. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that could be done with one of the daggers I'm holding for some reason.
Tie it to the bloody thing and do a donut.
Okay. What would I? Give me either a sleight of hand or I'm trying to think of what. So, survival check. Whichever one.
Sleight or survival? I'm not good at either of those. There you go.
Okay. You tie the rope into this twisted mechanism of spikes and blades and hope for the best. So, are you hopping on and giving it a rev?
Yep.
Okay, you hop on and give it a rev, and Scuts, you feel the tug of the rope pull you forward until all of a sudden it goes slack as one of the blades of the nightmare vehicle cuts clean through the rope.
Art.
Ah.
But it has given Scuts and Bennett some ground on the Woe Strider. It's now a good about 60 feet behind them. So they've got a bit of a head start, but they're still a good sprint away from the rift. But you can clearly see where it is now and the loose rope leading up to it. So, Scuts, Bennett, what would you like to do?
Follow the rope, ideally, I think.
So, continue sprinting.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
Scott's just
yeah.
carrying me by those things. So.
So, again, athletics, please.
All right. Looks like I'm legging it.
And then I need a Constitution saving throw from Scuts.
Okie dokie.
And you get to the rift. The Woe Strider still giving chase behind you as the grisly screams of the orc seem to fade to a wet silence. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna go through. We're going back.
Okay. I need both Scuts and Bennett to make wisdom saving throws. Bennett, yours will be at disadvantage.
Both of us.
Both wisdom saving throws.
No, I just got the
Bennett's will
crit.
be at disadvantage. Roll again. Could get lower.
Oh, I've got to roll again.
Yes, yours would be a
Ah.
disadvantage.
Oh, it was mine at disadvantage.
Yes.
Sorry, I thought it was...
Okay. Guts, you pass through the portal without, through the rift without issue, arriving comfortably on the other side, but without your package in tow. As Bennett, you reach the rift, but can't seem to work out how to pass through it anymore. It doesn't seem to. Every time you push in, it seems to push back.
What if I drop the fruit? Can I then pass through without the fruit?
It still has the same resistance. You get the feeling that you've been in the underworld and struggled to hold your life within you, that your body now thinks it belongs in the underworld and is going to struggle getting back to the mortal world. At this point, you're essentially trying to bring yourself back to life.
Oh, heck.
Guts is about ready to just jump right back in and see if she can find him. Oh, I dropped Benny, you guys! I just had him! Yeah,
So-
fuck it. She's going back in to see if she can find Bennett.
Anyone
I
else?
I don't know what I can do.
First, I don't know what Scuts can do to bring it back because it's Bennett that needs to make the wisdom save.
Fine, Scuts is gonna start shouting into the portal, Benny, you have to come back for your best friend, Diaz! I'll try to give him reason to come back.
Dios,
do that
Nadra, and
again.
Zolk, anything you want to try and do from your side?
If I go to help him, I'll give him disadvantage.
I mean, he already has disadvantage, so
Right, fair point.
1
Bit
second.
more madness on top.
If only I could have a different epithet.
if only.
Yeah. How close am I to this portal?
Probably no more than 15 feet. 10, 15 feet.
Okay, cool. Not a lot I can do.
Your grip on your dispel is also slipping a bit.
I'm happy to spend another spell slot to regain that grip.
Okay. I will make you roll for this one if you're using a spell slot to essentially regain control.
I'll spend the spell slot.
So, Nadrin, Zolk, any ideas on how to bring your best friend back from the underworld? Almost like it was a bad idea to go there.
Imagine?
I got nothing.
Oh, for God's sake.
Okay.
You're
Bennett,
very useless.
the Woe Strider is now about 30 feet away from you. So you've got one more attempt to try and push yourself back through the portal before it's on top of you.
What is it? Another wisdom save at disadvantage?
Another wisdom at disadvantage.
Fuck.
Again, you try and push through, but just can't quite make it. Like trying to push yourself through a wall of treacle. Or molasses for Americans.
I'm going to just look at the portal and I'm just going to call to Heliod and I will cast Daylight, trying to envision a point slightly beyond the portal.
Okay. So you can't see much of the light. It seems to be obscured by the portal. It definitely comes around the sides and through some of the gaps of it wavering, but it definitely blocks light. But as you haven't seen the other side of the portal, I'm not going to say the daylight is in the underworld.
That's fine.
But
I'm a bit busy trying to hold.
yeah,
status
you're
quo
trying to do
here.
two things at once.
Yeah. I need my other party members to do some lifting here.
I mean, it does give a good hint at a suggestion on what to do.
I'm not sure how much of a difference it would make, but I could try casting Protection from Evil on Bennett through the hole.
You can certainly try, but he's on another plane of existence at this point. You'd have to go through the portal to do so.
I think.
Now, there is a mechanic I wrote for the game right at session 1 of season 1 that I don't think anyone's used, which is you can give up 5 story points for a hint.
Oh.
Basically,
Sure.
ask your god something to help. Well, basically, you can use 5 points to ask your god from piety, or 5 points from story for just me to try and help. So, was that a yes? I missed it.
I'm going to stare deeply into my skull and think, does Ashiok know anything? And try for a divine intervention here.
Okay. Are you using your divine intervention? Yeah.
So it's D100.
D100. Trying to roll below your piety.
That's a pass.
That is a pass. So, what would you like to ask from Ashiok? It's not just an answer to a question. Passing a divine intervention is them intervening. It's Dios's space laser.
Oh, right. Okay.
Go big. Is there?
And you've just asked the Great Witch of the Underworld to help you get your friend out of the underworld.
All right. Could she make a permanent door that is only accessible by us?
Exactly what I'm trying to prevent here, Zolk.
Only accessible by us.
That's
Uh,
still not cool.
It would not have that caveat. They can basically permanently complete the ritual, but they wouldn't be able to make it exclusive to certain people. The best way to do that would be to add in your own guard to it to make it all but unpassable to everyone other than yourselves. But that would be on you to do. Yeah, Ashiok will absolutely click their fingers and cement the portal.
Almost likely kill Dios in the process.
Is that what you would like, Zolk?
Oh,
I actually have a voice for Ashiok.
God. It's a hard decision because it's solving the issues while also solving a divine epithet agenda. Trying to figure out the balance of that. If Ashiok can make a temporary hole here and a permanent one somewhere else that's hidden, that's fine.
Though there are already permanent openings into the underworld, it's more whether you want this one to be. It's already temporary, basically. As soon as the ritual ends, if the ritual's completed, it'll become, even then, would be semi-permanent anyway. The issue is the fact that because it's not permanent, then it's struggling to get through it.
So to guarantee his survival, it needs to be permanent.
Guarantee's a strong word.
Uh,
It would definitely get Bennett through the rift this time. But it would mean that rift would not be able to be closed.
at the cost of being able to save someone, I think that's worthwhile.
As the portal suddenly flares with this bluish smoke. And Dios, you feel your connection magically to this thing snap as you are almost thrown backwards by this intervening power, which snuffs the candles and the incense of the ritual out as the rift sort of transforms from this ink black to this hazy purple and blue. And you can see Bennett on the other side as if looking through a waterfall to see him.
Eos rises to his knees and he just says to Owen in particular, just, no.
And you see
What
directly
have you done?
behind Bennett, 10 feet behind him, a huge woe strider barreling down.
Damn it. I will get up onto, I'll just leap to all fours, drop my pike, run through the portal, grab Bennett and throw him through to the other side.
Okay. Bennett passes through without issue.
I will try to make my own way back instead.
Make a wisdom saving throw, please, Diaz.
Hey, I'm good at that. He says while he waits for his character sheet to load.
You turn and move through it as if moving through air, like it wasn't even a challenge to begin with. And
Leap back for my pike and just level it at the portal in case this thing tries to follow us.
and you see it absolutely try, pushing into the portal, but finding the same problem that Bennett had, where it seems to be being pushed back. You know for a fact that that's not a permanent stop. With enough persistence, it will get through. But as it is a creature of the underworld, it is going to struggle to escape. Not impossible, but struggle. And I think, unless they've got some last minute wrap ups to do, as the portal is overtaken by Ashiok, making the king's ritual fail, and Dios's prevention of the ritual also fail. But Bennett is saved, and you now have your own free passage to the underworld, and vice versa. There's also, well, I won't give a hint as to where it is in the underworld, other than the fact that there's the Tree of Tisrius, a big palace, and the ocean down there.
Not
So,
good.
anything, anything to quickly patch yourselves back up? Or
Guts is just gonna give
go on.
Bennett a giant hug. Bennett, I'm so glad you're okay. Oh, I'm sorry I dropped you. And then she'll kind of square herself up. I guess I will make sure I pick up any of the rope I've left behind too.
I'm going to use 4 charges of my Nyx Lotus to give my 4th level spell slot back,
Okay.
just in case I need it.
Am I able to keep the rope that I painted?
That is a good
Like,
question.
it exists now, right?
I believe it doesn't last forever, but we'll have a look. What's the wording?
Okay. Well, we can check later. I'm just curious. Oh, wait. Wouldn't it be made of brick because that's what I painted it on? I gotta double check how the pigments work.
Oh no, it lasts forever. It just can never be worth more than 25 gold. And if you paint a form of energy such as fire or lightning, it appears but dissipates as soon as you complete the painting. If you paint, so that trapdoor is now there permanently.
Whoops. All right. Well, I'm gonna take my painted rope then.
Okay. Well, on that note, I think we'll put a pause in the session for there. So, hopefully that was a nice return to Theros, nice and exciting. Not what I expected to happen, but had some fun moments. I hope.
Had a good time.
So let's do the end of session wrap up. Let's give you your piety, story, and loyalty. So you get a point of piety just for showing up. Did you complete your minor divine agenda? Did anyone look at their agendas?
I did, but I didn't complete it.
Okay. So Zolk, you wouldn't get a point of piety because you didn't complete your minor, but you will get a reward for completing your major agenda already.
Yeah.
So, Bennett would get a point of piety for completing their minor agenda and would get the reward for completing their major agenda.
Woo!
Had a really good one on that one. I was not expecting you to be able to do that agenda until like way down the line. But yeah, sure. This is just what happened. Scuts, you would get a point of piety for helping the now pliable king return and keeping them alive, considering how fragile they are.
Am I able to earn piety currently?
Are
'Cause I
you
thought
currently going
I'm
under
waiting.
an ordeal?
I think so.
Then no, you are not able. What's your piety at the moment? Is it 30?
Yeah.
Then yeah, you can't go higher than 30 until you complete the ordeal.
Okay.
Same for you, Zolk.
Oh, right.
Reason I can
And
slip
no, it's fine for Bennett because you've completed your ordeal. For Dios, you would get a point of piety for that if you're able to. I don't know if you can. I don't think you're still under the ordeal. Yeah.
Am I able to change my ordeal?
You can pay 10 piety to change it, yes.
Anyway,
So, are you going to?
I was asking, would it be 20 for me?
It would be 20 because you double both your gain and loss.
Yeah. I'm checking. No, I'll keep it for now.
Keep it for now. Okay.
I might change my mind, but for now I'll keep it.
It's always an option. Same for anybody. If you want to change your deal, if you don't think it's possible, you can pay 10 piety to change it. So Greg had to, well, Jim had to.
Yeah, I will change it. I will pay the 20.
Okay.
I think I will probably get some more piety from doing other things this session. So.
I will give a point to Nadrin for their minor agenda as well. As you did what you could. So I need to mark down that Diaz needs a new audio.
Mm-hmm.
Deal, and then both Bennett and Zolt did major agendas.
But I can gain piety again up to 50, so.
Yeah. Okay. Did you expand your god's influence in the world in a concrete way? I will give a point to Zolk for that one. Did you diminish the influence of a rival god in the world in a concrete way? I'll give a point to Dios for that one, which you'd actually be able to use now because you've just paid the 20 points.
Yay!
Did you perform a successful divine intervention?
Yeah.
That's all. Okay, story points. You get a point for playing. Did you overcome a great challenge using violent or non-violent means? I'll say yes. Some of you got stuck in the underworld and you had to mount a daring, frantic rescue mission for them. Using non-violent means, surprisingly enough. I'm impressed. Did you make a significant discovery or unearth some lost history? I'm going to say no, because you didn't really learn a lot from what you did. Did you perform an act worthy of a new epithet? Now go on, pitch me your new epithets.
Rabble rouser. Sending out paid actors to do my bidding.
I'm going to say no on that one with an asterisk, because I think it would be one, but it may need some more rabble rousing with some more successful cursing. If they hadn't passed that many saves against the curse, I would have definitely given it a
Okay, that's fine. Wow.
The distraction.
distraction. Door sitter. Okay. I will give a cursed one to Bennett for being too long in the underworld.
What does that entail? Or what will that do?
You'd still get a point of story, but you'll basically get a agenda that doesn't count towards, or not agenda, an epithet that doesn't count towards your total ones, and it will be both a blessing and curse. It will have a good point and a bad point. So same as Jim for Sogeg, and same as the unstable for Zolk.
They turn into things.
Anyone else feel like they made some stories today?
Not yet, but there will be more rabble rousing. So
I'll give one to Scuds as well for Friend Saver, because she was the only one that would risk diving into the underworld.
There you go. I was like, I mean, I don't think I want one for leaving the orc for a distraction. I was thinking about it, but I'm like, that's pretty grim.
I mean, you had a choice between an orc or a lyre that was made out of cotton. When 3 woe striders were barreling on you, you made the right choice. Not the ethical choice, but the right choice.
I was hoping for something to be a distraction. I didn't think it would be the. But now I don't have to worry about him in the middle of combat.
See, there we go. I need to remember to take him out the bag.
Yes. Yeah, he is definitely not in the bag anymore. But yeah, I'd go into the underworld for Bennett.
So,
Fearless.
a no successful wills of the people check. Loyalty. This would just be for Neil. He'd just get the 1 point for attending the session because he didn't really get to fight or do a great deal. And while you attempted to have him pull the rope, you didn't. He was there for moral support and as a guard dog. Oh, okay, brilliant. So, hopefully that was a nice introduction back into Theros. We will be back with more chaos next week. So, thank you all for playing. Thank you, everybody watching the stream, either here with Satyr Atlas or on Scudspots. Be sure to follow, and I will be uploading the VOD of this session shortly after we finish streaming. So if you go to the Satyr Atlas YouTube channel, you can watch them there.
All right, and a quick shout out to Emiya Aoki. Thank you so much for the raid. If
well.
anybody enjoyed and you want to join us next week, go ahead and hit the follow button. We play every Thursday, and I do random game and art streams throughout the week. Otherwise, it's just fun and chill. So thank you so much for chatting. Thank you so much for lurking and joining our shenanigans. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. Take care. Bye.
See you next time.
Adios.